barking noises. What a surprise. So I'm hoping that some of you will be finding me from Instagram, because I just went and did an Instagram live just to point everybody here. And I am running a little bit late. And this is really annoying me. I'm trying a different angle tonight. Hoping that's going to maybe help things a little bit more. Let's see. So, must get better tripod setup. Note to self. Okay, there we go. I think you're going to lose my head though at that angle. Let's see. Is that better? It's still wonky, isn't it? Sorry if you're watching this after the live and you're like, come on Lisa, get on with it. There we go. And we're here. Right. These are the lovely flowers that I sent out. We are going to do those, but you know that I like to do my little thing with the flowers that were last week, and I like to share the stage that they're in. Making sure now I need to bring those nearer to you so you can see them. Cheers to the weekend. Happy Friday, happy weekend. Hope it's been a good one for you. It's been a very busy week for me. Just got back from a solo shoot, so I was looking more glamorous than I am, but I'm looking a bit tired now. So, but we're here to arrange flowers together. So hopefully some of you watching are also that have got the same flowers as me. If you had the flowers that I had last week, then you might want to do what I'm doing and arrange these into 3 little bud vases. So I'm going through my rather sad flowers from last week, and any that have dried nicely, like this dahlia, has dried beautifully, or is still going strong, I'm going to put it in a bud vase. That one looks a bit short. So the grasses last a really long time. Look at that, it's really pretty. Do not think that just because they look awful in your display that you had them in means they're going to look awful somewhere else. And I'm all for getting the most out of all the flowers. Let's get value for money. That's what we want. Value for money. Some of my flowers, it's less so if those that are posted out, but the ones that people are locally getting, because they haven't had to be transported, they're finding that they are lasting, some of them for 2 weeks. So wonderful. Makes me very happy. Oh, I think that dahlia was drying really beautifully. So we'll pop that in. Don't really feel like I'm going to get 3 this week. Although, that said, the Eryngium, that looks lovely, doesn't it? And that does dry. Let's pop you in there. Have we got a friend for you that we can bear to give you that doesn't look too awful? I think maybe the Astrantia. It is looking a little bit dead, but still beautiful. There we go. Maybe not as impactful as what they were last week, but 3, I'm going to hold them all up, 3 bud vases, beautiful still. So let's just pop those behind me. And those are from the leftover flowers from last week. So this week, I think I try every week to give you some new bits, because some of you are buying flowers most weeks, so I like to keep it interesting. But also that just shows you the seasonality. Oh, that was good. I literally just knocked all of them onto the floor. That just shows the seasonality of the flowers. So, you know, I'm not going to have all flowers all year round. So what's beautiful about British flowers and seasonally grown flowers is that you appreciate different things at different times of the year. So as I always do, we're going to do all our prep first, and we're going to see what's survived and what maybe needs to get discarded. And I always say that I send myself, I don't pay for the Royal Mail because that seems a waste, but I always package them up the same for me as I do for you. I put them in gel and I leave them in a box, and then I unpack them, and so I'm dealing with them in the same state that you are. So the first thing I like to do is take all the leaves off, pretty much from most of the stems. Here we've got an aster, so we're taking all of that off. Then we have got some grass, and we've got another bit of grass here. We were thinking a lot, Lucy and I, that we maybe told you the wrong name for this grass. We think it actually might be Panicum warrior. Need to look that up. but this is Sparkling Fountain. We've got some feverfew, so I did put feverfew in when the earlier ones that we did, and this is now the second flush of feverfew. So given that we've had so much lovely rain, we've now got it again, and it's just a lovely filler flower, happy daisy looking flower. Smells good as well. So I'm just taking all the leaves off, because the leaves can make it look a little bit worse for wear. So take all your leaves off. I don't think they particularly add anything. You know, some leaves, like some cosmos leaves, look really lovely. This cosmos it's not done very well, I'm afraid. I'm not going to put that in. So like I said, I always include more so that if something doesn't quite survive, you've still got your money's worth. I think that's important. So I'm taking off the side bits. This is a dahlia preference. Can't remember what the colour is, but we've got on also some more cosmos. Just taking off those bits there. I want to take those bits off as well? Maybe. What is this? We've got more cosmos. So I've got different cosmos. That was Cosmos apricota. This is Cosmos daydream, I believe. And then here we have got some status. That always travels well because it dries well. We have got a dahlia, another dahlia. Now you can choose to leave on those side buds if you want, or you can take them off. And there we go. I'm going to take that one off there. Another lovely dahlia. Can't remember their names. Wish I could. Here, this one's Boom Boom. Boom Boom, which is a white dahlia. Really big, tall dahlia. Like it's almost as high as me, the plant. So that's the cosmos. I've got some phlox in there actually. I thought I couldn't grow phlox, and then two of my plants in the tunnel actually have provided, after, I mean, I planted about 40 and they all died in June. It was horrible, but because of the heat, because of the fact that I planted them too late, I don't know, but a couple of them survived and they provided lots of lovely stems, and this is called creme brulee. Then we've got a snapdragon. This is a Madam Butterfly. Take off the bottom leaves of that. If you've got any flowers as well that aren't looking so great, you can take them off the bottom. We've got another aster. We've got a rose, which unfortunately I forgot it didn't go in water, so that's not going to work, but hopefully your roses are okay. And then this, I've not been able to put a lot of my mint in these because mint doesn't travel well out of water. So I haven't been able to send mint, but I'm so pleased that I can now put in this, which is the scented pelargonium, and it smells amazing. So that is our little bit of foliage today. Right, got my pink vase today, so we're going with a bit of a pinky theme. Let's start with a big dahlia. So always like to use relatively short vases so that it doesn't look too long and thin, for the type of stems that we've got and the volume of stems that we've got. Think about these heavy ones. Some of them, the stems aren't particularly strong, so you might not be able to have them as long as you want. Got a lot of big disky, these are called disc flowers, so we've got a lot there, haven't we? Tried to make them different heights so that they're not just all one block. Then I'm going to go in with some filler, so let's put the feverfew in. And you can see how much prettier it looks now that we've taken the foliage off. It just looks a lot more elegant. We have got a nice spire, so that's a long snapdragon. We've got some cosmos. I love cosmos just to stick up and above the arrangement. This is a beautiful shape, so let's go with that. Let's see that this shape is coming out here, so let's go with that kind of asymmetrical shape. Bit of grass, bit of magic. I always call it magic, the grass. I think it's a bit high. Adds the magic and the air. Another bit of grass that can go in here, just softly diffusing that. I'm going to come round and have a look at how we're looking, because it's very hard. I'm going to let that aster give a bit of movement, because these dahlias are looking a bit bulky at the front. And then I've got a bit more cosmos. And normally I take my status quite low, but I'm going to keep that quite high up today. I might take that piece off and put that in. No, I'm not. I just don't like it. I just don't like the status stems. That's the problem. But they do fill it out an arrangement really beautifully. There we go. What's bugging me is that all these dahlias, I'm going to move, shall I move that one, are the same height. And so they just look a bit blocky. That's a bit better. Yes. And then put that one in. Let that fall out. So we've got that lovely bit of movement from the phlox, the grass. I find that I go past this and I fiddle with it for ages. Even when I do it with you, I then fiddle with it. But hopefully what you can see is what I'm aiming for here is different heights, so they're not all plonked in the same, different heights, different shapes. Try and work with the shapes that the flowers have given you. And you get a much more interesting arrangement. We're not looking for sort of perfect symmetry. That's not how I like to arrange my flowers. Obviously you can do that if you want to, but I never do that. I always like to kind of go with the weird and wonderful shapes that you get. The wibbly wobbly things that you get with British grown flowers that aren't grown with chemicals and heat and made to be like super straight. Fab. There we go. Okay guys, I hope you found that interesting. All of these arrange-alongs that I've done, I've put them all up. They'll all be there on the YouTube channel so you can watch them and see. And it's quite interesting to see the different flowers. Certainly if you're interested in learning about different British flowers, then you can watch that and see. He's annoying me. What are you doing, mate? Where are you going to go? You can look at it and see because I always name them, and we try to put them in the description as well or in the chat, so you can then learn some of the names. So I hope that was good. I've said that already. I'm very tired, so excuse me for repeating myself, but thank you for those of you that have joined me live. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you will find out when I do more content, and I'll be back next week. That's an animal eating something she shouldn't. I better go see what she's doing. She's eating something she shouldn't. I'll see you next week for similar time for more arranging. Bye! Poppy.